Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. How are you doing today? Are you ready for some fresh drama? Our first story is about OP, who revealed to her cousin a family secret because cousin was jealous of the attention OP was getting from her uncle. They say that there is no secret that time does not reveal. Well, in this situation, it was OP, not the time. So today's question for you guys to answer is, was it OP's place to reveal the long-kept family secret to her cousin? Looks like my opinion this time was unpopular. Listen to the end of the story to find out. Enjoy the stories, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. Currently, my Uncle John and Aunt Gia are married. But before that happened, Gia had been married to my Uncle Grant for 5 years. Gia had been cheating on him with John. Uncle Grant was serving in the military for a lot of this time, so he didn't know until he returned home after an 8-month deployment to discover that Gia was already 3 months pregnant, and she confessed everything. My grandparents sided with Uncle Grant at first, but after they learned John was going to marry Gia for the baby, Zoe, they told Grant to think of what's best for the baby and forget John and Gia's cheating. Uncle Grant doesn't talk to them anymore, but kept in contact with my dad and our family. Uncle Grant doesn't have a relationship with Zoe or her younger siblings, John Jr. and Emmy. He explained to me when I asked him as a teenager that he feels keeping his distance is the kindest thing, because he does feel resentment, and he knows it wouldn't be fair to Zoe to bring that kind of energy around her, which I do understand. Since yesterday was Father's Day, me and my immediate family hung out with Uncle Grant in the morning and went to my grandparents' house in the evening of dinner. Zoe was at my grandparents' house with her parents and siblings. Zoe complimented my necklace and asked how I got it. I kept my response vague by saying, "Oh yeah, I got it as a birthday gift," and Zoe responded, "It was from Uncle Grant, isn't it?" Uncle Grant is the only one in our family who really has money, so I realize now that that would be obvious. I couldn't avoid it anymore without lying since Zoe asked directly, so I told her yes. Zoe got angry, saying that she knows from her parents that me and my brother constantly do fun stuff and get nice things from Uncle Grant, and she demanded to know why she and her siblings have never gotten the same treatment from him. Zoe then made a nasty accusation as to why Uncle Grant only treats me and my brother the way he does. At that point, I pulled Zoe into a private room and offered to tell her the truth, but warned her that her parents did some bad things, and knowing would probably change the way she looks at them. Zoe was insistent on knowing, so I told her what happened, in as unbiased a way as possible. Obviously, Zoe was shocked and upset. She ended up getting into an argument with her parents, and they went home early. Several different family members called me after, and apparently, it's a crap show at John and Gia's house. Zoe wants to stay with our grandparents and is giving her own parents the cold shoulder. John Jr. is suspicious and asking questions, and Emmy is upset and confused because Zoe and her parents were all pretty close before. Only my parents, brother, and Grant have my back. All the other adults in the family said I ruined Father's Day and should have left the past in the past. Zoe will be 18 in August and demanded the truth. I felt she has a right to know. Am I the a-hole? Edit for clarification. Uncle Grant, John, and my dad are all biological brothers. Gia has no biological relation to me. Well guys, in my opinion, it wasn't OP's secret to share. Looks like Zoe is a teen, and OP basically hit her in the face with ugly truths. Teens can say mean things, and OP as an adult should ignore that. Maybe her parents had been thinking of a way to tell her. OP didn't know the circumstances and what Zoe's parents are thinking. So yeah, I think OP should have stayed away in this situation. And now let's see if the community agrees with me. The Big Blue Pit says, "Not the a-hole. She asked the question. You warned her she might not like the answer, and she still insisted. All you did was tell the truth. At 17, she deserves to know the truth. John and Gia are just facing the consequences of their cheating, and the family members giving you crap about this are probably the ones who insisted on hiding Gia's cheating." Edited to add, "Holy crap, I just saw in another comment, OP mentions that John is the biological brother of Grant. So Gia cheated on Grant with his brother. This just got so much worse. This just reaffirms my stance that you are super not the a-hole. But John and Gia, screw them. They are huge a-holes. I can totally understand Grant keeping his distance because John just carpet-bombed that relationship with his brother." Anonymoosehead123 says, 100% not the a-hole. You ruined nothing. The cheaters did, with their awful behavior. Zoe has the right to know the truth about her family. The fact that they hid the truth from her all these years just further confirms that they are untrustworthy people. Zero Sonic 1 Death Zero says, "Not the a-hole. She's old enough to know, and hopefully she will eventually come to terms with it. From the way you described the situation, she would have known you were lying anyways, unless you told her the truth. Not sure if Father's Day was the best time to reveal this dirty little secret, but I guess you didn't have much choice." Male, 24, UK. Work at a fairly senior position for my age. Making good livable money, but nothing ridiculous, and I'm currently saving for a house deposit with my long-term girlfriend. I've always been quite a high-achieving person, and this was done mostly because my parents were very pushy with me. They would always sign me up to everything under the sun. Acting classes, music lessons, a whole host of sports, public speaking competitions, etc. Academically, I excelled, but always felt very pressured by my parents into what were acceptable and unacceptable courses to pursue. I graduated university in 2021, just at the tail end of the virus. I moved back in with my parents, but immediately things felt tense as they were straight away hounding me to get a job, and every day came a new lecture about how it was good to find my independence and move out. I kind of rushed into a teaching job, which moved me across the country far away from my parents, and I've been living entirely financially and physically independent for 2 years, and able to save good money doing it. In the 2 years I've been away, my father's company has struggled. My younger brother has started going to private school, something I never got, and my mother has become heavily disabled with a medical condition, leaving her mostly bedridden. 6 months ago, I asked to move back in for a year, so I could save money on renting to fully save for a deposit. My parents agreed and told me I wouldn't need to pay any rent at all. Then 2 weeks ago, I get another call, saying that when I move back, I'd need to pay full rental price matched to what I'm currently paying in my own place. This is about £650 a month for a room in a shared house. This was alarming to me, as I only have 4 weeks before I move back now, and this has been a bit of a blow to my saving plans. My parents have revealed to me that they are really struggling to pay the mortgage now that Mom isn't working, and that they don't want to give up sending my brother to private school. They may start defaulting on their mortgage without me. It's clear my parents are struggling with depression, and I've watched them slip further and further into alcoholism. Each time I've gone back home on the last 2 years, the amount of wine I see them both get through is worrying. So this week I told them I no longer had any intention to move back in, and that with the money, I was going to rent my own place near them and continue to live independently. This has not gone down well, and now I'm being held up in front of the family as a villain for abandoning my parents in their time of need. Am I the a-hole for deciding now to preserve my own independence rather than help my parents with their finances? Well, I think OP's parents do not want OP to help with their mortgage. They want OP to heavily subsidize his brother's private schooling. If they are really pressed financially, OP's brother should switch to a state school, a move that would probably save them between £15,000 to £20,000 a year. OP shouldn't move in with him. Also, I can see OP's parents favoring OP's brother here. Don't you think, guys? Let's see what the community says about the situation. Parsimonious Salad says, "Not the a-hole. If they are making the choice to send your brother to private school over paying the mortgage, I don't think you want to be anywhere close to that financial disaster. Are you sure you even want to move closer to them?" PSI Blaze says, "Not the a-hole. They pushed for your independence and are paying for schooling for your sibling that you weren't given. This is where you need to hang on that independence. If they can't afford his school, that's a decision they have to handle." Chuck and Buck 22 says, "Not the a-hole. It would be one thing if they were totally transparent and asked this of you in the first place, but to switch the terms without an open discussion is different. Don't abandon them, but have an open, honest discussion." I, 37 female, am married with 2 kids. I've had an IUD for 3 years. I hadn't been feeling well, and so I thought I would just take a pregnancy test, just to be 100% certain I was not pregnant, since when you call to get an appointment, they will often ask you this. I knew it was almost impossible, but figured I feel weird, so what the heck. It was positive. I was in shock and a little bit of terror, since IUD births are not always pleasant. Nor did I have any desire to have any more kids, hence the IUD. I went to the doctor's office, and the MP tried to do an ultrasound, but didn't see anything, so she asked if she could bring in another person. I said fine. This doctor comes in with the ultrasound and says he doesn't see anything, but that just means it's really early. When he is done, he says, "I've seen a baby come out with the IUD on its back. Isn't that cool?" Well, congratulations. A baby is always a blessing, and you must be very excited to have a little one, even if it was a surprise. I should clarify that I was not happy or saying anything positive about being pregnant during my interactions with any of the people there. In fact, the opposite. After that, they finally, even though I requested it earlier, gave me a blood test, and it came back negative. So I had words with the pregnancy test company. In the end, it has been months, and that doctor's attitude and words have stuck with me as inappropriate and really pressuring. I have been thinking about reporting him, but don't know if it is report-worthy or if my bad day is just making me extra mad at that guy. So would I be the a-hole if I reported him to patient affairs? I'm 100% pro-choice, but it seems like the doctor was just trying to be positive and polite. So I'm gonna say OP is in the wrong here, even though it's an unpopular opinion. OP would possibly damage someone's career for giving the response that literally 95% of people give when someone is expecting. Too petty. Let's see what the community says. The baddest Patsy says, I don't know why everyone is saying you're the a-hole. It's not like you're suing him for medical malpractice. He has an issue with how he talks to women who are in a vulnerable situation, and that needs to be corrected. You would be doing his other patients a service. What is his attitude going to be when someone actually does have an unwanted pregnancy and is seeking A? Telling her congratulations and a baby is always a blessing is implicitly shaming and will make that much harder. It also makes me question if this attitude will affect his treatment of women who choose A. I suspect people telling you you're wrong are either anti-choice themselves and think women should be shamed for A and BC, or they're just really young. Lunaseed says, not the a-hole. The doctor has no idea of your feelings about being pregnant and is either an idiot or a pro-lifer to assume every woman would be thrilled by this. My former doctor got into trouble for doing the exact opposite. After confirming a positive pregnancy test for a married couple, she asked them if they planned to get rid of it. Yeah, that's every bit as out of line. Just relay the facts and let the patient take it from there. Doll White 21 says, you're the a-hole. He was grabbed from the hall to help a colleague with an ultrasound. He knew nothing of your situation, though not applicable to you, would have been warm, comforting words to 99% of patients. He tried to make small talk, not shame you. You reporting him encourages the medical field loses its compassion and humanity for fear of being too friendly. Come on, seems extreme. I, 25 female, got married to my partner, 27 male, a few years ago. I would have never posted about it, but my wedding is still gossiped about within my very large family, and I just wanted to know if I'm actually the a-hole here. 2 weeks before my wedding, my sister, 27 female, dyed her hair bright colors. Normally I wouldn't care, your hair is your choice, but my photographer was willing to take a variety of family photos throughout the day, not just your typical wedding pictures. This was also the very first time my sister had ever dyed her hair. I called her after she posted some selfies on social media and asked if she was planning on keeping her hair that vibrant for the wedding. She told me it was none of my business, and I would know in 2 weeks on my wedding day. I let her know I didn't care if she planned on keeping it, but my photographer would have to know beforehand because I would have to pay for extra Photoshop and photos she was in. My sister exploded. She told me it was not my place to change how she expressed her orientation. Apparently, the colors she dyed her hair are the colors of a pride flag of some kind. I asked her what she meant by that, and she said she was finally ready to accept who she is and be open about her orientation. I said I was proud of her, but asked if she was planning on using her dyed hair to come out at my wedding. She said she wasn't going to say anything to our relatives, but if someone asked why she dyed her hair, she would tell them the truth. I asked her not to use my wedding as an opportunity to come out to our relatives, but she said it was easier for her since they would all be in one place. I begged her not to, and she can tell people any other time. She agreed, but said that she would not be comfortable with me photoshopping her hair in family pictures because she viewed it as limiting her self-expression. Now, this is where I might be the a-hole. I told her I paid over $2,000, a lot for the area I got married, for the photographer, and these would be our first family photos since our parents got divorced, and our only family photos of us as adults. These pictures will mean a lot to our parents and grandparents, and I will not let her ruin them with her self-done box dye job. For more context, our family is very fair, and her hair clashed hard with the colors of the wedding. I ended the conversation by telling her if she isn't comfortable being photoshopped, then we wouldn't do extra family pictures in my wedding day, and she wouldn't have to be worried about being on camera, and I hung up. She texted me a couple days later to tell me she actually forgot to ask off work and couldn't come to my wedding anyway. This was a lie. She had actually planned a last-minute, extended vacation with friends that overlapped with my wedding. So, am I the a-hole? Edit. A few people have asked for some clarification. She dyed her hair a deep royal purple blue, and her natural color is a light blonde. When I offered to Photoshop her hair, it was at my own expense, not hers. I also offered to just lighten it to be more of a pastel shade, to be less eye-catching. My main concern was the specific group family photos we planned to take, which my parents and grandparents were very excited to have in their homes. She also was back to a blonde shade for her vacation and has not dyed it since. Well, I guess using OP's wedding to come out to relatives is kind of an a-hole plan. It hijacks OP's day and takes the attention away from her. I would not be happy if I was in OP's situation. Let's see what the community has to say about this situation. Goat-eating troll says, not the a-hole. It's like people that try to do proposals at someone's reception or show up to the wedding in a white dress. Somebody else paid for this event as a celebration of their wedding. No, it is not okay to use it for your own agenda. Bert McClin FBI says, not the a-hole. She was planning to use your wedding to come out and to turn the spotlight onto herself. Generally, I would think that you can't dictate someone's hairstyle for a wedding, but to make it into a giant billboard to come out is crossing the line. At least you didn't have to pay extra for photoshopping her out. Outrageously Penguin says, everyone sucks here. She's wrong for planning to come out at your wedding, as it's pretty clear she was going to do. You're absolutely ridiculous for thinking you get to dictate someone's hair for your wedding or Photoshop it afterwards. If you're that worried about actual humans clashing with your wedding colors, you've taken several wrong turns towards Bridezillaville.